Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm doing a very exciting video, one that I've been waiting to do for a long time. And I'm going to be testing out the NYX Cosmetics Total Control Drop Foundation. So this is all of the shades of foundation, which I was super impressed with. They have ultra light, all the way down to very dark. Now before I get started putting it on my face, I just want to say that I have not tried this yet. I did have to open like 2 or 3 foundations and test them out on my neck to see what the best shade would be for myself. But other than that, I haven't put it all over my face yet. I haven't tested it out to see how long it lasts or how it even looks on my skin at all. And some facts about this foundation before we get started, just to see if it follows through with what it says on the NYX Cosmetics website. So one of these bottles is $14, which I was super shocked to see how small this bottle is. I don't know if that's like a normal size for custom dropper foundations. I haven't tried the Cover FX custom cover drops, so I don't know what the size of that bottle is, but this is just super duper small to me. That's just like the first thing that I noticed, was how tiny it was. So it retails for $14. This is what the description says on the NYX Cosmetics website. From sheer to full, your ideal coverage is just drops away with our Total Coverage Drop Foundation. Fine-tune this velvety matte foundation with the included dropper. Simply adjust the number of drops until you create the look you're feeling today. Want more coverage? Add more drops. And on the box that it comes in, it says on the back, it has 2 drops equals light, 3 drops equals medium, and 4+ drops equals full coverage. I'm guessing that means for the whole face. I really don't know how I could cover my whole face with only 2 drops of foundation, so we'll have to see how that goes. I tested out a couple different colors and I decided that light would be the best option for me right now. So on one side of my face, I'm gonna try it with this brush that it comes with. I don't think that it is included in the price, probably not. They just sent it in this big giant box of the foundations, but this is the brush that you're supposed to use with it. You're supposed to drop the foundation in the brush, and I don't know if you can tell, but it's kind of like a U shape almost, like there's a little tiny curve on the top of it, and you're supposed to drop the drops in the brush. Personally, I'm not going to do that because I find that is a huge waste of foundation, because the foundation is just going to drop right through down to the bottom of the bristles and I'm not going to be able to get to it. So what I'm going to do is use this brush on one side of my face and then use my Beauty Blender for the other side, just because my Beauty Blender is my ride or die with foundation. The only time I really use brushes is with like stick foundations or really creamy foundations where the Beauty Blender can't move it around very well. But this is what it's supposed to be used with, so we're gonna test it out and see how it goes. And since this is a matte foundation, I'm gonna be using a luminous primer, and today I'm using the Becca First Light Priming Filter, and this stuff is amazing. It's so beautiful on the skin. Also, I thought today would be a good day to test out a foundation, because if you guys don't know, I've been battling a really annoying case of dermatitis. And I've been on antibiotics for a couple weeks now and it's almost gone. It's just there are still like red spots on my face, but it was like super bumpy and super rashy almost. But the bumps are gone now, like everything's flat, it's just the red dots are left. So I thought it'd be a good time to show and see if the foundation covers it. So I'm just gonna put 1 pump of this on my fingers. This stuff goes a long way. I am wearing moisturizer under this. I always wear moisturizer. The one I'm wearing right now is the Kim Tai and Ofra Wanderlush moisturizer. I've been using it for months now. It is still my favorite moisturizer at the moment. So the box says shake very well on this foundation, so I'm just gonna shake it for a little bit. And then I think I'm going to start out with 1 drop on each area of my face. So 1 drop on my cheek, another drop on my cheek, 1 on my forehead, and 1 on my chin. And I'm gonna see how far that takes me, and if it doesn't take me that far, then I'm just gonna keep on adding drops the more that I need them. So I'm gonna start with the right side of my face, and I'm also gonna be using the brush on the right side of my face and the Beauty Blender on my left side. Start with 1 drop. All right, it is super liquidy. So I'm just putting like half a drop on one side of my forehead and half a drop on one side of my chin at a time. It was a really, really good color match, unless it starts oxidizing, but right now it looks really, really good. So the brush actually applied it really, really well. I'm really happy with how it looks on my skin, but one drop in each area of my face was not enough at all. I'm gonna add one more drop to each area of my face again. I can tell that it is already oxidizing, so that's a little bit scary. So to me, the foundation looks really, really good right now. I can tell that it is clinging to some dry spots. Like I have a dry patch on my nose and it's kind of clinging to that. It's probably because it's a really liquidy and matte foundation. And I can tell that it is oxidizing a little bit. It might oxidize a little bit more, but I guess we will wait and see. So I'm gonna apply the other side of my face with my Beauty Blender now. So I'm just gonna go right in with 2 drops because I know that I'm gonna need it. So already I'm liking how the Beauty Blender is applying it way more than the brush. I knew that was gonna happen. I always prefer a Beauty Blender with liquidy foundations. It just is such a faster application than using a brush. And I don't know, it's just so much easier. Like you just don't have to try as hard with the Beauty Blender. I think it looks really good. It's not too cakey. Also, excuse my super chapped lips, they're so dry. It doesn't look cakey. I do like the way that the Beauty Blender applied it better than the brush said. It covered my redness really, really well, and it just looks, it has a really natural finish. I like the matte-ness of it. You can definitely tell that they went for the matte kind of foundation, and I really like it. I don't normally like to go for matte foundations, but this one looks pretty good. Okay, so now I'm gonna speed up through the rest of my makeup. I'm just gonna do a simple look today, nothing too dramatic or no severe contouring or anything like that. It's just gonna be a natural look so we can focus on the foundation, and then I will go ahead and catch you up after that, and then we'll do a few check-ins after that. Okay, so I finished my makeup and this is what it looks like in natural lighting. I'm just standing in front of my window. People are staring at me, it's fine. But so far, I am really, really liking how this foundation looks. It hasn't creased at all, especially in my smile lines. I haven't seen any creasing, and I have been talking a lot throughout this video, so that's a good sign. That's one of the main things I'm gonna look for throughout the day is my smile lines and how they react to this foundation. But yeah, so far it looks really, really good. A little bit of oxidization, but that happens with a lot of foundations. Hopefully it doesn't oxidize anymore. And if you don't know what oxidizing means, or oxidization, wow, it sounds so fancy. It basically means that when you apply the foundation or the concealer to your face, it goes darker than when it's originally applied. Like when it dries, it gets darker. But it looks really smooth right now, and I really like, ew, my lips look so crusty. So yeah, I'm gonna do a check-in in a couple hours. This is just a Sunday morning and I'm not doing anything today. So I'm gonna be hanging around the house. I'm also probably gonna be wearing my glasses throughout the day, and we'll see how my nose reacts to that. So yeah, my arms really hurt from holding up the camera, so I'm gonna check in a couple hours. Okay, bye-bye. So it's only been a couple hours later. I did that last clip like at 2 p.m. and it's like 4 right now, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's 4:30. So I've eaten and I did not wear my glasses yet. I'm gonna go do that. I'm actually gonna put on glasses right now so I don't forget. Put those on my head so I don't forget. But I just wanted to get one check-in before the sun goes completely down because it's almost gone, and I wanted to get one more thing during the daylight. So it still looks pretty even to me. My smile lines haven't creased at all. And I am so surprised because usually they crease in like the first hour. I'm like super impressed with that. My highlight is still intact. My blush and bronzer still look pretty good. My forehead looks fine. My forehead's never really like a trouble spot. One thing I did notice was, I think I already mentioned it, but there's a little dry patch on my nose and the foundation really clinged to it. I mean, that's pretty common in foundations. Like most foundations cling to dry patches on the face, especially ones that are liquidy and matte. So that's something to consider. And it's super like dry. Like it doesn't feel tacky at all. Feels like my skin. I really like that about it. How it doesn't stay tacky. But yeah, I have really been enjoying it so far. Like I feel like my skin kind of looks airbrushed, which is always a good thing. Okay, so I think I'm gonna wait a little bit longer before my next check-in just to see if this foundation wears and tears a little bit. So I will see you in like a second. Okay, and we're back for our last check-in, and these lights are so bright. I was just in a really dark living room and this like hurts my eyes. So it's about 11 p.m. right now. I've been wearing this foundation for 9 hours, which is like the average time a normal person wears foundation throughout the day, like if you're wearing it to work and stuff. I've been wearing my glasses since my last check-in at like 4, and we're gonna take them off and we're gonna see what they look like. All right, just as I had suspected, the foundation did not make it through the glasses. Oh, I just gotta give my eyeballs a break for a second. So the foundation did not last up to the glasses, which was to be expected. There's like literally no foundation out there on this planet that does last through the nose pieces of glasses. Yeah, it got really blotchy and really dry. Right now, the foundation still looks really good in my opinion. Like it's not separating on my skin, not from what I can see. I was leaning on my hand on this side. I can't tell if it might be red because I was leaning on my hand or the foundation is just separating. Big thing that I'm noticing about this foundation, it like has gotten drier over time. Like my face feels like it needs to be just drenched in a crap ton of moisturizer right now. Like it's so dry. So I'm guessing it's probably really good for people with oily skin. Like I have really dry skin and it's still like okay on my face. It still feels fine. I can just tell that it's a lot more dry than my normal foundations, like the Born This Way or the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea. But one thing that is amazing me, I'll just zoom you guys in, is my smile lines. Okay, this one's creasing a little bit, but my smile lines are usually so much worse than this. So I'm like really impressed with that, but I can tell that the redness of my dermatitis is popping through. It didn't stay as full coverage as it was before. My chin looks a little cakey because it just got really dry. The corners of my nose creased quite a bit actually. It didn't oxidize anymore from what I can see. Yeah, you can see where I was resting on my hand that it wore off, which is probably to be expected as well. I don't know. This foundation's making me go back and forth. I want to say that I do like it, but there are a few things that I don't like about it. For one, the bottle size really irks me. It's like so tiny. This would be acceptable if it literally did only take 3 drops to be medium coverage, but I need like 2 drops on each area of my face for medium to full coverage. So the dropper guide isn't totally accurate, and I feel like I would just run out of this so fast if I used it on a daily basis. So that's one thing. It is $14, which is really affordable for foundation. It is more on the spendier side for drugstore foundation, but for foundation, just like overall, because I usually use high-end foundations, it's a really affordable foundation, and it did a really good job. Like I would say this is one of the top 5 drugstore foundations that I've ever tried. Like it did a really good job. I'm just like being a really harsh critic right now because I'm doing a review on YouTube. So I would have to say I would give this foundation an overall score out of 10. I'm gonna give it a 7. I'm gonna give it a 7. We're gonna go with 7. So yeah, I'm gonna let you guys determine what you think of this foundation. I personally am probably gonna wear it again just because it pleased me. Like, I am pleased with it. And this was my first time applying it, so maybe I'm doing something wrong. Maybe I'll figure out something that is better for applying it. I did see that there are total mixed reviews on this foundation. Some people hate it and some people love it. They think it's the best foundation they've ever tried. So I guess it just depends on your skin type or your preference in different foundations, but I'm here to tell you that it's really liquidy, it's really matte. It does take more than 4 drops to get a full coverage on your face. It lasted me pretty well for 9 hours on the day. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you for coming along with me during my day of foundation testing. If you have any suggestions for reviews on products that you want me to try, go ahead and comment that down below. But thank you guys so much for watching. I love you and I'll catch you in my next video. Bye guys.